Welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 21st of November 2016. Now, just before we get into the markets, what happened on Friday, I just want to bring this to your attention. This week is going to be a tricky week, and the reason for that is quite simple. On Thursday, we have the US Thanksgiving holidays. This is bigger than Christmas for the US citizens, which means that Wednesday will be half-day trading. The markets will then close. That's all government markets, bonds, etc. Closed on Thursday and half a day on Friday. Now, for the last 20-odd years that we've had Thanksgiving, and I've been trading the markets, again, you know what I'm going to say, it's just best to stand aside because the markets will be sideways. And speaking of sideways, that's what they've been since Trump was elected as well. If we have a look at the daily chart, we'll just jump around a bit here this morning. You can see how sideways and how narrow the range has become and is becoming as well. It's getting narrower by the day there as well. The volume has also dropped off significantly, getting lower by the day as well. So with the run up to the Thanksgiving holidays, we can expect more of this sideways move. Now, this can be incredibly frustrating, as I know it is for me, as it is for you, that there aren't any decent moves around at the moment. But the skill in trading isn't actually being in the market. The skill is knowing when to actually be out of the market and sitting on your hands and waiting to get in when the activity picks up and kicks in. And this is going to, but at the moment it's not. And in this week, and for this week, it is going to be sideways. Unless, of course, you always get something that comes out of nowhere to move the markets. So we know what the situation is, and again, this is the skill in being a successful trader, is knowing when to be in the markets and when to be out. And here we've got this situation where it's sideways. Now, that doesn't preclude you from paper trading. If you're new to the PPT charting software, you can still paper trade, and you'll see why I'm giving this advice now. So you can see that it wasn't much point in actually trading. And this is the same for Friday when I said to stand aside. You can see there the range of the market. Once we got the first hour out of the way, the market just became very, very choppy and sideways. So we've got a situation where the market is stuck in this range. Even the overnight markets have been very, very sideways, the Asian markets, and nothing is really going to improve going through this week. So again, just as a reinforcement, I expect the markets to be sideways. Now, this is going to break, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But again, we just got to be patient and wait for it to actually do that. Before we move on, let's see what news we've got today. We've got Draghi speaking at 4 p.m. So that could add a bit of movement to the market. And I say could because in the last 6 months, or probably a bit more actually, central bankers' speeches and their comments to the markets used to move the markets big style. You'd see 100-plus point move after they spoke or during their actual discussion. This doesn't happen anymore. The market is losing faith in central bank policy. They can see that everything they've done has failed and will continue to fail. So now it seems to have more of a negative effect. And then, of course, the plunge protection team bring the market back. After the central bankers have spoken, they mark the prices down and then they bring them back. So beware that Draghi is speaking at 4 p.m. if there is any sort of move, which looking at this at the moment, I say very much doubtful, unless of course there's something geopolitical that does come out of nowhere. So not a lot to report today. I mean, the implied volatility continues to move lower, and this is the key that we're going to get a big move shortly and a lot of volatility returning to the markets. The lower this figure goes, closer to 10% or below, then we will get the moves. And if you look at the chart, you'll see when we're down at this area before, we then got the moves through September and October. We had some fantastic profits, but we had to wait again through August, waiting for the market's momentum to actually return and the volatility. And that's what we're seeing here now. Trump has been elected. We're in that period of time where he's president-elect, which means that he's not in his official capacity or position yet, not until the 20th of January. So there's sort of limbo at the moment, and that's how the markets are addressing it as well. The uncertainty by just holding the market on the highs and trading sideways. It isn't always going to stay like this. That's the good news. But as I said at the top of this video, the skill is knowing when to actually just stand aside and find something else to do, and then come back when there is something to do, and then take the money off the table. That is the mark of a successful trader. Not being in the markets. Any fool can be in the markets, and you'll find you could bleed to death slowly by doing that. Sometimes you just have to stand aside and wait, and the wait is worth it, because once the volatility kicks in, then the trades go the way you want them to actually go. Right, that's it for this morning. I will speak to you during today, possibly, but like I say, if there's no volatility within the first hour, then the market's going to be waiting for Draghi, and then we get into the evening, and then the markets have been quiet in the evenings for the last week and a half. So again, you know the pattern at the moment, but it will break. Hang in there, it will break. Trust me, it always does. Just have to exercise a little patience until it does. Right, that's it. As ever, thanks for your support and also for watching. I shall see you in the next one.